welcome to the Knitter's Kitchen vlog, episode 2, spring, or should we call it summer? I am Juka, I am your host today. I am the owner of the Knitter's Kitchen brand, which is hand-dyed yarn and knitting patterns as well, which come out in my name, Juka Mulligan. So, as you see, I'm outside and it's really nice weather. You can probably hear like the birds chirping and stuff. You can also hear all the traffic. But yeah, it's been hot here for days now and well, all week, and I've been lucky to have a couple of days off because yesterday was a national holiday in Denmark. So I'm off today as well, and then I've got the whole weekend. So it's Friday today. So I want to keep this episode a bit short because, yeah, those 45-minute episodes are pretty long, and I'd rather do some shorter episodes more often. I know a lot of podcasters and bloggers say that, but yeah, let's try at least. So, a couple of things I want to talk to you about. So, the last time you saw some of the natural dyeing I did, and there's some results come out of that. So there was avocado dyeing, and that came out like this. So you see it was pretty light rosa, I guess, light pink and white, because I only submerged half of the skein in the dye bath. Also, this is my new label, by the way. I love them. So yeah, that was the avocado, and then I did something with walnut as well. I did the exact same technique as I followed for the avocado. It turned out like this. It's a very, very light brown, beige-ish. So the thing is, I dyed with the shells that you get when you crack the walnuts. So usually you would be dyeing with like the fresh walnuts come off the tree, or yeah, the dried version of that. So not that shell that's inside it. So I'm not even sure if I can get something that's darker than this. But well, I can try at least. I do love this though, and I realize on the screen it looks a lot like the avocado one. So here they are, side by side. So this is the avocado and this is the walnut. So this past week or so, I've been doing more natural dyeing because sometimes I got completely hooked on it. And a couple of years ago, I went on a course with Ull, or Ull, which is a Danish company who do natural dyeing in abundance, and they also have courses, it was pretty cool. It was like 3 days, midst of summer, it was the end of July, I think, and we went out foraging for plants, and then we dyed yarn with those plants, we got like this whole rainbow of colors out of it. That was pretty amazing. So having done that, I'm no longer really scared of doing any natural dyeing myself. And even though dyeing with the acid dyes is really, really fun, natural dyeing just has its own charm, I guess. So natural dyeing takes a lot longer. Because if you want to, as you also saw in the latest video, you need to boil the plants or the material you're using, and then it needs to like cool off and pull out all the dye stuff from the plants, and then you need to let the yarn simmer in there for at least an hour. And yeah, it just takes a long time. It takes days combined. Of course, there's a lot of cooling time and stuff, so it's not that bad, but it just takes a long time, and the acid dyeing is a lot quicker. So Also, it's possible to get some other colors and some other effects using acid dyes. So, 2 weeks ago, I went to my brother's place. They live in a forest, and they have a lot of plants out there. So what I saw all of a sudden was they had a lot of, it's called dock in English. In Danish, it's skrabbe, or koseskrabbe. And yeah, the leaves of that plant can be used to make this gorgeous yellow, especially in spring. So I picked like a huge bag of that stuff, and I actually had enough for 2 huge pots of dye stuff. And I've been dyeing a bit with it. So, first of all, here's a skein, and I'm not sure if it shows that well on screen, but it's like this gorgeous, gorgeous, very, very yellow. I dyed that on a couple of skeins, and then I had this great idea last week of over dyeing it with indigo. So over dyeing it with indigo, get this. When I watch the video later on and edit it, and I might just be inserting some pictures of what they actually look like, because the camera doesn't seem to capture it that well. So pictures will go here. So yeah, this gorgeous green, which also has, like, you know, some would say I'm a sloppy dyer, but I really like it. Like, I really like the effects I get. So in this case, my indigo had been sitting for months, I think, since November last year. It was like that was weird. It was like a mother, I don't know what that's called. Stamkube in Danish. Well, the basic mix of indigo. It had been sitting since November. So there were like some bits and pieces from a hardened shell on top of it. And I was like, whatever, let's try it. But that resulted in there being like bits and pieces in there which dyed the yarn a bit more here and there. So there's like these speckles on this yarn of a brighter blue and a darker green, which I think is awesome. So apart from that, I did dye some other things, and I did some more experiments. So I did a couple of mini skeins in the indigo pot as well. So actually, you see they're kind of mottled and kind of variegated. So this effect I got by actually having it as a skeined up, hanged up, twisted up in the dye pot like this. It was a bit tighter though, or like that. And then I put it in the dye pot for 2 minutes or so, and it turned out like this. So I really love it. Also, I did dye a little bit more with avocado. Avocado dyeing is so easy, and it's so fun, and yeah, so fun to see what comes out of it. So yeah, you saw that skein of avocado dye yarn. This one. And I did dye some more, which became a bit paler. But also, I made a very, very strong solution. And it came out a dark, dark pink. Pinkish, reddish, brownish. Amazing. Yeah, so those are pretty great. And all these yarns, you'll be, if you're in Denmark and if you're going to the Fiber Folk Festival in, yikes, a little more than a week, then these yarns will be for sale there as well. So there's not that many of each, but they're there, at least if you want to take a look at them or touch them. On another note, I did also dye some fabric. I don't yet know what to do with it, but I might be making some project bags or kits for project bags. So all the fabric and stuff already cut with some naturally dyed fabric as well, and then just ready to sew up. So yeah, for the indigo dyeing, I did want to show you. I've got 2 books that I'm really happy with. So one's this one from Gösta. It's in Danish. I'm actually not sure if they have an English translation. They should have. I mean, I want them to. In farverig verden in Danish. A colorful world would be in English. And I love that there's text on the front, and then on the back they've got a plant. I like it. So this book is full of all these awesome pictures and stuff. And also there is, I love this. You need to be dyeing an awful lot to get these pretty spoons. Mine start looking like it, which is great. Yeah, so there's all these kind of things also. Oh gosh, there's a recipe on the indigo thing. Look at that. That just makes you fall in love, doesn't it? Tools needed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm actually using their recipe because it's nice and easy and quick to look up. Another book. So you might have noticed I'm very much on indigo. I mean, blue's my favorite color, so that's kind of easy. So this book I bought from an antique bookstore, which one of my friends works in. And she saw this one come in, so she was like, "Are you interested?" And I was thinking, yes. Sorry. So I bought this one. It wasn't even that expensive. I don't even know what I paid for it. But anyway, it's Gösta Sandberg, a Swedish guy who wrote this book, and it's been translated into Danish. And well, it's Indigo, a book about blue textiles. I don't know if it's even available in English or not. But in any case, there's like a whole history of indigo, the plant, how they actually make the powder, different techniques of dyeing, and you know, the printing kind of thing. So yeah, there's all this terminology which I don't know what it is in English, but yeah, making those patterns and all that kind of stuff. It's amazing, I tell you. I love it. So, yeah, I've been reading a lot on this, and there's different recipes in there as well. They're just a little bit more tricky and harder to get an overview of than the game book. So, I did record some footage while I was indigo dyeing last weekend. I didn't look at it yet, so I don't know if it's even good. But yeah, I might put in some here. I have a pot going right now as well, so I'll be dyeing some more fabric and perhaps also put some of the yarns in again that were, well, came out pretty light, you know, the mini skeins, for instance. I've got them all sitting in the yarn. Ooh, whoops. Yes. So these mini skeins might get an extra layer, and I still hope it will be all modeled and variegated, just with different shades of blue. So, yes. Alright, so let's talk about a little knitting. So, yeah, I don't want to do the whole what's in progress when I finish. It's pretty short and sweet. I finished the top I was working on last time. I did not finish the Bright Above Me in blue, starry one, starry yoke, because it got hot, so I kind of, yeah, lost the mojo on that one. It will probably come again in some months when it starts getting colder again. If at least we have a summer, you never know. This might be the hottest it gets this year. This is Denmark, yeah. So, yeah, so I did finish the top, the summer top with the lace here, and I got my husband to take some photos, which he graciously agreed under my command. Take a photo right now. And me posing like crazy, as always. So, pretty photo. Yeah, that's going into testing soon, so keep a lookout in the Ravelry group where there will be a testing call coming up. It's great for summer. Yeah, so I did meanwhile start on another little summer top, which I have here. This is done in 2 yarns from Ito, so Ito Kinu and Ito Washi, I think, which is like paper yarn, and Kinu is silk. So this is a little garter stitch summer top, which has been changed around 5 times since I cast on, so I changed my mind about the design all the time. So as you see, there's like this garter stitch neckline here. I then picked up stitches, and there was a slip stitch edge, so those picked up stitches, you see that little knit column. It's hard to see, isn't it? Yeah. And then I've been increasing, and then I'm starting on a contiguous style shoulder construction here. So you've got the back between these 2 markers, and then there's one shoulder, the other shoulder, and then this little part here is one front and on the other side as well. So let's see how this goes, if it even becomes what I had in mind to start with. So my first idea was making a top which had a vertical row of eyelets. I might still do that at some point, but it will be an entirely different construction because, yeah, it was not meant to go like this. Let's say it like that. So let's see how that goes, if it is even going to happen. So a friend of mine suggested that I put in a segment where I talk about a design I have published and the thoughts behind it. So today, because it's summerish, I'd like to talk about the Windcatcher top, or the Windcatcher collection, as it turned out to be. I'll put in photos because, yeah, I'm not wearing it. No, I'm wearing this hoodie instead, which I just made, and I'm really happy about. So, but I'll put in photos. So the Windcatcher top came about because I had this idea of having like a loose fitting top with a bit of lace on the side, or a bit of lace on both sides, or, well, and being me, I usually end up with the asymmetric thing, so lace on one side only. So the way it's constructed is you start by casting on stitches at the top, work the little neckline, and then work top down, but not over the left side stitches, only over the front and the right shoulder, where you do the contiguous construction until you reach a length you want. And then work further down, of course. And then afterwards you pick up the stitches on the left hand side, or pick up stitches along the left hand side in the side edge of the work that you worked back and forth like that. And then you work the lace until you've got the same length as you had over here from the shoulder. And you graft under the arm, and then work a little rib on the shoulders. So I wanted it to be pretty loose fitting, and the reason I've called it wind catcher is because in the Middle East you have like these, well, the buildings are very dark with no windows, and then they've got these huge towers with windows at the top, and they're actually called wind catchers. So the wind gets in and then gets down into the house and cools down the house, gives some ventilation. And I was thinking about that with this top as well. So there's lace, it comes in, like chicks in the air, and you can get cooled down a bit, and it actually works. Like I did mine in a wool and cotton blend, and it's amazing in, yeah, all kinds of summer weather. So when I made it, I couldn't decide on whether, yeah, which kind of lace pattern to use. So I ended up using 3, and I had a lot of testers, so I actually didn't knit up all 3 versions myself. I have some of my testers work with the other 2 lace patterns. So instead of just publishing 1 pattern or 3 separate patterns, I have published it as the Wind Catcher collection, where it's 1 pattern, and then for the other 2 lace variants, you've got like an extra information sheet on how to work the lace section for those. And yeah, there's a difference in stitch count and that kind of stuff. That's why that is necessary. So go take a look. I really, really like this top, and I'm wearing it all the time, just not today. Okay, so that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you'll leave a comment below. And yeah, I very much hope you want to see any future episodes. All my contact information will be coming along shortly. And yeah, please get in touch. Also, if you have any suggestions or wishes for what I could talk about, yeah, please let me know. I'm happy to get the feedback. See you next time.